I can just talk about the game.
Recording in progress.
When you come to the stadium in Mexico, it's always very, very difficult to be the away team. When we conceded in the first 15 minutes, I felt on the sidelines that we were going to get a difficult match, a very, very hard night, and our players were going to experience the full CONCACAF experience. And I thought we showed a lot of resilience to get the goal, big away goal. And then from there, the game got a little crazy. We have the chance to go up 2-1. We miss a big, big chance. And good teams punish you. And Atlas punished us right before the half, so they have all the momentum. I give our guys credit for coming out at halftime and sticking to the plan, keeping them off the board as best we could. Quinones, for me, is as good a player, as good a striker that I think could play anywhere in the world. I really believe that. I think he's that talented and that special. So he was a handful for us all night. I think our group to get 2 goals on the road in Mexico is very rare. I've experienced this as a player and as a coach, and I can say the emotions on the sidelines are much harder as a coach because you want to help the players. But credit to Atlas, they're a true champion. They came at us over and over and over again. So it was a really difficult match where I think we grew a lot as a team and learned a lot about ourselves.
Thank you. Sorry, we'll start with some questions via Zoom. We'll start with Jonathan Siegel.
Hey, Jim, congrats on the big result getting through. Twofold, what's that like to get LAFC, another shot at them earlier than you thought in the schedule? And also just the significance for this club. This is 2 CCL semifinals in 3 years. I know you guys want to keep on pushing on beyond this stage. Those are 2 big milestones, perhaps.
Yeah, these competitions are very difficult, but they're the competitions you want to play in. I think you guys have seen over the years, it's paid a toll on a lot of MLS teams and probably a lot of Liga MX teams the further you go in the competition because it's demanding. You're playing a lot more games, and these games are very high intensity, and they cost you points in the league, which is difficult. But at the end of the day, I'll sign up to play in these types of games to learn about your group over anything. It's about surviving and advancing. There's big consequences with mistakes. The away goals rule, makes you have about 10 different strategies going at all times on the sideline. So it's good for even the coaches and the staff. So these are the games you want to play in. Obviously we talked about getting another shot at LAFC, a team who looks unbeatable right now, but we'll get that opportunity now. So we know it'll be a difficult game. They have a very deep squad. And again, I think when we get together with them, it's been a lot of special moments in our league's history. So yeah, we're excited to move on. But Atlas, I give them a ton of credit. They made it very, very hard on us.
Jonathan Tannenwald.
Thanks. Jim. Jonathan Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Hi, Jonathan.
I've asked you this before over the years, but I feel like asking you again tonight. This team made a big step up in signing 2 DP caliber strikers for the first time in its history last year. And what does it mean that on a night when Michael still couldn't quite connect it and get it right, that Julian was able to step up and show why you made a move that big?
Yeah, I rested them for this match, and there were some really, really great things from them. There were some things that I think they'd want back to and could have finished some more chances. So we'll go as far as that front 3 of ours goes. We're going to be a sound, strong defensive team, but when those 3 guys get clicking, we're a handful. So, I was happy to see them, create some chances and get goals. In some ways, in this competition here on the road, the away goals are the best defense. And we were able to score 2, which, as you know, Jonathan, does not happen often in Mexico. So this is a big step for our club. The union, this will be our first ever success in Mexico. It's not easy to beat a Liga MX team. They have a great history and great players. So it shows that we're moving a little bit forward. We won't get too far ahead of ourselves because we can still improve on a lot of things. But this was a big victory tonight.
Thank you. One last question on Zoom for Matthew DeGeorge, and then we go ahead with the questions at the stadium. Thank you.
Hey, Jim, congratulations. You talked about the different plans you had in order. I wonder if you could, both Leon and Jack McGlynn create goals. I wonder if you could assess how they played and also the two guys you bring in at outside back to finish this game off.
Yeah, look, to sub two defenders is not in my nature, and it's not really a recipe for success, especially on the road. But I give credit to Nathan and Matt Real for coming into a difficult situation and doing a great job. For those that don't know, Damian Lowe wasn't able to train yet, but was able to be on the bench today. I was a little tentative to use him. Obviously, he did so great on Quinones. That would have been a nice luxury to have, but hadn't really tested the hamstring and trained fully with the group. So. The subs were what they were, and I thought the guys stepped in and did a really good job. As far as Jack and Leon, two different skill sets and two guys that are, MLS caliber starters, and I think both of them did great tonight. Good passing, setting up goals. Leon came in and really solidified the defensive side on that. Our left, their right-hand side, where Herrera was really coming at us. He's another special player that Atlas has. So, again, tough night. We'll have to recover quickly and turn around and go again against Chicago.
Hello, Coach.
Hi,
Mafra Alonso from Televisa Univision.
Hello.
You have been coach of Philadelphia Union for 10 years now.
Yeah.
And you already you already been in a semifinals in 2021,
Yeah.
I guess. What do you need to do and work with your team to win the semifinals and win the final and be a champion in this competition?
Yeah, when every team season starts, they want to lift trophies. That's really what we all play for as coaches, as players. The ultimate is lifting a trophy. We ran into a very, very good at the time Club America team in the semifinal. That was very talented. It was a close two matches, but they got the better of us. Now it sets up against LAFC, a team we have a lot of history with. Just played in a final where it went 3-3 to penalty kicks. So every game we play against them is I'll just say a crazy game. We've played lots of 3-3s, and high-scoring games. So it'll be a really tough opponent. The team that is disciplined and organized defensively and doesn't concede will move on. But look, the Champions League is a really special competition. It's the biggest trophy on our continent, and we want to push and try and go for it. It's been let's be honest, it's been a competition that has been completely dominated by League MX, right? We finally broke through, and Seattle had a win last year, and the hope this year is that an MLS team can lift that trophy, and I'd prefer it be us than LAFC.
Hi, Coach.
Hi, how are you?
Rodrigo Camacho from Fox Sports. Atlas was missing some of their key players tonight. Did that change in any way your preparation and the way that you approached this match, and how different was Atlas compared to the first match?
Yeah, look, they have a deep squad for sure, but I think they were missing one of their top center backs, and obviously Lozano in midfield gives them another dimension that on a different night, he would have been, I think, special for them tonight with his ability to shoot from distance, to create goals and set up plays. So we get a little bit fortunate, but in these two leg ties, yellow cards become a big issue. For me, if you want my personal opinion, it's becoming too simple to get kicked out of a football match. It's becoming too easy. 2 yellow cards, you can say something bad to the ref and maybe kick a ball away, and next thing you know, you're missing a Champions League game. I think this is too harsh for me. This is how I am. I think the best players should be on the field. If there's a horrible tackle, sure, red cards, and I'm all for still refereeing the game the right way. But this isn't a comment on tonight's game. I just mean big picture. I don't think it's good when top players miss the biggest games for yellow card accumulation in a competition that is so intense, So we get a little bit lucky because they're missing some players, missing their goalkeeper. Their starting goalkeeper is excellent, and I'm sure they missed him tonight. The importance of having your number one goalkeeper in, we know that in Philadelphia as well, where it just makes you defend different as a back line, and as a team, you can be braver because you know exactly what's behind you. That's not a knock on the backup goalkeepers, but it's just different. They have repetition and they're used to it. So to answer your question, yes, we were fortunate. They're missing players. But I still think over the 2 legs, keeping the clean sheet at home becomes the biggest thing, right? Keeping that 0 at home was huge. And then to score 2 goals on the road in Mexico, I can tell you as the coach, I did not expect that, So I thought maybe 1 would be nice, but to score 2, my players even surprised me. So it's a good victory. But again, that's a very good Atlas team. They're injured, they're shorthanded, and they still showed, for me, a lot of fight and passion.
Hello, Coach. I'm Ashley from TV Azteca. I want to know, what do you think, in which part Atlas lose the game after having a first part that the team plays very well? And I want to know, what do you think about, you were very sharp in the shots. You have 4 on target and you scored 2.
Yeah. Well, look, Atlas is a team that I think is brave and takes risks going forward. I think you guys saw that in their previous Champions League game. I think you've seen that in their league. They play in a lot of high-scoring matches because they are brave. So, you know, with the 3 center backs and the wing backs, they really let them go forward. All 3 midfielders are good in attack. Rocha's the one that kind of sits and sprays balls. But they commit numbers forward. And when you have Quinones, you know, goals are going to go in, and it's very difficult to stop them for 90 minutes. So when they score early, it makes it difficult. We knew tonight we had to be very, very efficient on the counterattack. So because they had to throw numbers forward, it did leave them a little bit exposed to the counterattacks. And you saw some space for our guys to get out. And you saw a lot of 3v2s, 3v3s from midfield. And we were able to get some right and some we could do better on. But again, to be efficient and score our goals and score the few chances that we had, because when you come here to Mexico, it's chances are few and far between. You have to really execute. So I thought we were pretty clinical in scoring our goals. Both of them went to VAR, so there's always a moment of celebration and then fear that they're going to get called back. But overall, I think the referee got the calls right. Thank you.
Buenas noches, Benjamín. Rodrigo Camacho de Fox Sports. Estamos en vivo para la última palabra. Habíamos hablado en la otra serie contra Olimpia del crédito que tenía este proyecto, ¿no? En ese sentido, después de esta eliminación, ¿tú dónde crees que está parado? ¿Dónde se ubica este proyecto de Atlas?
Bueno, primero que nada, pues lamentable la eliminación, ¿no? Nosotros estamos tristes porque la respiramos, la tuvimos cerca. Fueron ahora sí que centímetros en los dos goles que nos dejan fuera. Se marcan de primera instancia fuera de lugar en los dos, entonces quiere decir que estábamos muy cerquita de evitarlos, ¿no? No fue así y tristeza dentro del club por esta eliminación y lo intentamos, luchamos, creímos que podíamos hacerlo. Creo que fuimos superiores en el desarrollo del partido, en el funcionamiento. A mí me deja con buen sabor lo que intentamos, como los 20 y pico tiros al arco que intentamos, centros, rupturas, de todo, ¿no? Y sabíamos que al concedernos iban a complicar muchísimo, sin embargo, pues no bajábamos los brazos, seguimos intentando y bueno, no nos alcanzó y tenemos que tragar amargo, revisarnos, saber qué podemos mejorar en corto o mediano plazo y evidentemente sacarnos esta mala sensación para poder levantarnos y cerrar bien el campeonato.
Por acá, profe Mafer Alonso de TUDN, cambiando un poco el discurso de la amarga eliminación, pues quedan todavía 3 partidos de Liga MX en los que pueden alcanzar repechaje y una eventual liguilla, y también la buena noticia, ¿no?, de la convocatoria de Aldo Rocha y Osiel Herrera a la selección nacional. ¿Qué nos puede decir de esto? ¿Cómo está el club con respecto a estas dos situaciones?
Bueno, en realidad nosotros siempre hemos dicho que el siguiente partido es el importante y ahora nos toca prepararnos para Pachuca, otro partido complicado que nos viene en la liga, pero como le dije a los muchachos, si nosotros jugamos de esta forma en todos los partidos que compitamos, tenemos más probabilidades de salir adelante que de claudicar. Nos vamos a enfocar en seguir la evolución, el proyecto, el proceso de lo que estamos haciendo con el equipo y a seguir trabajando, que es lo único que puedo brindar, trabajo. Y después de lo de Aldo y Osiel, pues muy contentos en ese sentido, porque es un premio al esfuerzo de mucho tiempo, ¿no? Sobre todo su primera convocatoria de los dos, uno muy joven, Aldo con mucha experiencia que creo que es muy merecida. Yo sé que van a hacer un buen papel y ojalá eso nos dé fuerza también para que nuestro capitán regrese a inyectar alegrías en lo que resta del torneo y que podamos cerrar dignamente para la alegría de los aficionados que también se la merecen.
Gracias, David. Buenas noches, Benjamín, por este lado. La gente salió triste, ¿no? Molesta por la situación que sucedió hoy en la cancha del Estadio Jalisco, pero para ti, ¿qué tanto pesa en los dos partidos las fallas que tuvieron tus jugadores, sin poner nombre, las que tuvieron allá en la ida, que pudieron haber cambiado en el primer tiempo el marcador, y también el partido de hoy, ¿no? ¿Qué tanto pesan estas fallas en esta eliminación? ¿Qué tanto duele esta eliminación así, Benjamín? Gracias.
Sí, bueno, la tristeza es comunitaria, ¿no? Nosotros como club, como cuerpo técnico, como plantel, también estamos tristes, igual que la gente, porque pues, siempre queremos ir a darles alegrías y a ganar, ¿no? El fútbol, como siempre lo digo, es de aciertos y de errores, ¿no? Nosotros nos tocó tener algunos errores allá que los pagamos caros. Y también la eficacia en algunas jugadas que tuvimos para poder acrecentar nuestro marcador a favor, pues no se dieron, ¿no? Lo importante es la nobleza de los recursos que nosotros utilizamos para llegar a intentar eso, ¿no? Es decir, cuando yo veo que el equipo intenta, cuando yo veo que el equipo centra, tira, desborda, mano a mano, pues nada más queda esperar que tengamos fortuna y que podamos meterlas, ¿no? Sí, evidentemente pesa tanto que no estamos dentro del torneo más, pero pues sabemos que este es el camino para seguir mejorando y ajustar lo que tenemos que ajustar para minimizar el margen de error.
Buenas noches, profe. José María Garrido de Fox Deportes y Claro Sports. Aquí hablabas justamente ayer de la importancia que tenía no tomar gol en contra. Desafortunadamente para tu equipo ya son bastantes partidos en que no ha logrado mantener el cero. Preguntarte si esta parte de la responsabilidad tú la asumes y si se consideraría un gran fracaso por la gran apuesta que incluso desde la parte directiva se hizo para que este equipo estuviera en este torneo, profe. Gracias.
Gracias, querido. Yo te digo una cosa, no asumo esa responsabilidad, asumo toda la responsabilidad, porque ese es mi trabajo y ese es mi rol. Yo no soy quien para determinar el resultado de la apuesta que mencionas. Yo solo soy alguien que viene a trabajar, a tratar de ayudar a los muchachos a potenciarse. Estamos en ese camino. Como ser humano también no estoy exento a cometer errores como profesional, así como todos los integrantes de este plantel y de la institución, pero juntos como hemos estado y creciendo como hemos estado y mejorando como hemos estado en funcionamientos, vamos a encontrar los resultados más favorables, eventualmente esperemos en corto plazo y a seguir estando juntos peleando por mejores resultados.
Última pregunta, Omar. Adelante.
Hola amigos de
Profesor, buenas noches, Omar Pérez Campos. Oiga, profesor, ya sin la CONCACAF, ¿qué tanto siente usted o qué le ha dicho la directiva de que su continuidad depende de sí o sí trascender en repesca, por lo menos? ¿Y qué tanto requiere para este buen cierre necesario para ello que haya más aporte de los que vienen de banca? Porque en una opinión que tenemos algunos, parece que el plantel quedó un poco corto y que parte del desgaste se debe a que más o menos las mismas 11, 12, 13 piezas tenían que jugar constantemente. ¿Qué tanto depende de que otros jugadores cierren bien el torneo para darle más variantes?
Mira, con respecto a la primera pregunta que me haces, yo no estoy pensando en eso. Yo estoy pensando en cerrar bien y mejorar el equipo dentro de mis posibilidades. No me corresponde lo demás. Después de eso, pues evidentemente el plantel se conforma de 26, 27 jugadores que en la expectativa nosotros tenemos que utilizar a los que estén en mejor momento y a los que tengan regularidad, los que tengan consistencia y los que tengan productividad en el juego que estamos proponiendo. Por eso mismo tenemos que seguir trabajando para que los que no han jugado mucho o tienen poco tiempo tengan más y jueguen más y le ayuden al equipo. En ese estamos trabajando todos los días y esperemos que en estos últimos partidos podamos utilizar a jugadores que nos ayuden a ganar.
Gracias, señores. Ahorita vamos a pasar a zona mixta. Permítanos unos minutitos, por favor.
Gracias.